Against? Thank you, that's carried. You got it, Katie? You all good? Yes. Okie dokie. So now we move on to public participation. I'd first like to welcome Claire Newman to the table, who will provide an update on the Share Kai and Korero project. Welcome. Oh, you've got a friend.
Wonderful, thank you. Great. So going to rattle through this and hopefully leave some time for questions at the end. So kia ora tātou, ko Claire Newman tōku ingoa, and this is my colleague Holly, and together we are here to talk to you about Share Kai today. We're going to start by saying thank you. Thank you to the City Council for supporting Share Kai over the past year. We are a collaboration between Mahia Te Araha and In Common. Both these organisations arose out of the response to March 15th. Mahia Te Araha has been founded by members of the Muslim community and invites us to action the compassion. In Common has been founded by the wider community and invites us to look at our commonalities as opposed to our differences. Together, we're creating spaces for connection where people can connect and participate with people from different backgrounds, share and learn about each other and people from different cultures. The Share Kai initiative is really proud to support 14 cooks from ethnic minorities communities. It's these cooks that provide the food, and they are our biggest stars. We provide livelihood opportunities for the cooks, and we also provide opportunities for them to deepen and widen their engagement in the broader community. So we do this through creating events. They might be food truck style pop-up events, they might be catering with culture, or it might be as simple as sharing a table at Riverside, which some of you have joined us at previously. But we bring in intentionality to our events. It's not just about sharing delicious food, it's about connecting, and we do this with our connection cards and our conversation nudges. So with the support of City Council, in our first 6 months of the year, we were able to host 1,400 participants to our events. We generated more than $22,000 of income that went directly to the cooks. We broke bread with Crusaders. And more recently, in the last 2 weeks, we've been able to secure funding and donations from the public to fund over 500 meals for families and friends going through the coronial inquiry. So we do have a natural alignment to City Council's multicultural strategy, and we draw on the research that you've conducted in the past 10 years. Essentially, we're inviting people to become active participants so we can create a society where everybody feels they belong. Partnerships have really underpinned our approach, and it's no exaggeration to say the partnership with the City Council has been integral to our success to date. You've provided us with some seed funding, you've helped us navigate systems, provided us networks, and you're some of our biggest supporters. And we're really looking forward to being early adopters of the Multicultural Centre next year. So this has enabled us to unlock some multi-year funding from 10 national funders. They see what we're doing here in Christchurch, and they really want to support the work that we're doing. This will enable us to deepen and widen in Christchurch, and it will enable us to scale nationally. The next slide is some quotes, which I won't read out to you. I'll leave you to read through those by yourselves. But I just want to finish by saying thank you very much for the support that you've given us over the past year, and we're looking forward to deepening and widening the partnership going forward.
Thank you, Claire. Well done. Any questions from anybody? We've got a minute and a half, if you want to.
Kia ora, and thanks so much for the work you're doing. The work that's currently happening with the helping to provide food for those involved in the inquiry, I'm just wondering if you wanted to elaborate on that a bit and let people know how they can help by donating to help that happen. Thanks.
Kia ora. Yes, so we have an appeal out that's an ability for the public or anyone to contribute towards those meals. So the idea is that gives the wider community a chance to show their manaakitanga to the community. There aren't that many avenues during the coronial inquiry this time around to show, that compassion from all of us to the community. After March 15, we laid flowers at the tribute wall, we cooked meals, we did a lot of things, but this time round, this is an avenue that we've kind of seen that people could utilise. So they can donate through the Open Collective website. and that money goes directly towards meals. And so far, from individual donations, we've received enough to fund more than 500 meals. They'll be provided weekly to the community, and our Share Kai cooks, the Afghan group of cooks, will be making those halal meals.
That's great. Thank you.
Okey-dokey. Thank you very much. Okey-doke. So next we'll hear from Don Elder, who is here to tell us about the loft and the services it provides to the community. Thank you, Don.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Don Elder, aho. Nice to see some of you again. I've worked, lived and played in Christchurch, Atatahi, most of my life, including with a number of you. I'm proud to be from Christchurch, and many of you know that I don't hesitate to speak up for things that matter, and this is one of those times. A little bit of background, I'm on a number of commercial boards around the country, and this is relevant because of what I'm doing here today. I've been on the board of Orion and LPC, and it's been a privilege to serve Christchurch through doing my bit on those boards. I chair and boards of startups, and I'm a mentor for a number of people. I'm chair of the Family Help Trust in Christchurch. I'm chair of the Canterbury Clinical Network, which has helped the Canterbury health system become the best health system in the country. But I'm not here with any of those today. I'm bringing that experience. I'm here today as a trustee of the Loft, which is based in Eastern Christchurch. And I brought David Mates, who was also, of course, well known to you. He's the chair of the Loft, and he apologises he can't be here today. I want to talk to you about where we are, and I want to go back to March 2011. Where something really riled me as it would have riled you. A bureaucrat from Wellington said, Christchurch doesn't matter. Christchurch doesn't matter. And that caused me, and I had a pretty busy life, to step up and say, to hell with that. So I worked with a number of you. It caused me to step up and do a whole lot of stuff to work for Christchurch, because Christchurch did matter. It caused me to do a whole range of things that took time. And I think I can look back now and say we and many others made a difference. So somebody saying to me Christchurch doesn't matter is the wrong thing to say, and that happened again recently. The Loft was established by a group of us back in 2016, and it's a unique model in New Zealand. There are a couple of other models like it. But what we said is there's a better way to deliver social services. There's a more economic way, there's a more efficient way, there's a better way to help not the people in this room, but the most vulnerable people in our community. The people who in the next generation will be defining as a problem. The people who tomorrow will be defining as a problem. Because I look around this room, and if any of you has maybe a heart attack or an accident, or comes off your mountain bike, or a Yanni has an accident on the football field or whatever, you know where to go. You go to the emergency department at hospital, and I've been there with you. But I want you to put yourself in this position for a moment. You live in Eastern Christchurch. You live in a rundown house that may well have been red stickered, and you're living there now. It's drafty, it's cold. You don't know how you're going to pay your food bills. Your kids are starving. You've got somebody knocking on the door, and you don't answer it because it could be the police about something you did yesterday to provide food for your kids, or it could be the landlord who wants to evict you. On top of that, you don't know where your next penny's coming from. You don't know anything about budgeting. You've got a bunch of other issues, and worse than that, your partner shows up every now and then to beat you up or beat the kids up. Put yourself in that position. Where do you go? You think, well, somebody said last week, I'll go to Aviva, family violence, and you think, oh, that's probably a good idea. And then you realise somebody else said, you've got a budgeting issue. You need to sort that out. You need to have a crack at your gambling problem, because you're always hoping that next week you'll pull the lever and suddenly your money problems will go away. You know your child's got a health problem, but they're not even enrolled. Somebody said to you, Ngaitahu, you ought to register with Ngaitahu. They provide help, but you've got an iwi connection, but it's not Ngaitahu, and you don't know that they're actually willing to help you. So you've got so many issues you don't know where to turn. 4 years ago, the Loft stepped forwards and said we need a social emergency service for that. We funded it from the partners at the Loft, the people you see there. We supported it from the partners at the Loft. But that wasn't working because that was taking money away from their front line. Ministry of Social Development stepped forward and provided $360,000 a year for 4 years, and 1,000 people a year have benefited from that. This year, in June, they told us that money's being disestablished. That social emergency department that serves 1,000 people in our community, your community, my community each year is going to have to be disestablished. We're living on the smell of an oily rag, and that will be gone. That's their problem, that's my problem, that's our problem, and it's your problem. So I'm not asking for anything today other than your knowledge and your understanding of what I see as an upcoming crisis in Christchurch, and anything you can think of doing that can help us with that will make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming in and speaking to us about that. We too see that as a serious item. Yanni, I'll allow one question, but
Quite just to let Don know that this council actually has passed a resolution to write to the minister, obviously with the change of government. We thought it was better to wait for the new minister to come in.
Yep.
So we've already passed a formal resolution to raise concern at the government's cut to the funding in support of the good work that the Loft does in our community. So just wanted to pass that on so you're aware that we do have an action to try and support you as much as we can.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Yanni. Thank you to the council. Thank you to all of you.
thank you. All right. All right, I'd like to invite Matthew Reid, who's going to speak to us on item 13, the Linwood bus stop improvements report. Welcome.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for coming in.
Having heard the Loft and having heard the issues we've got with the sewage, I find it extraordinary that I received a letter in July telling me we're going to move a bus stop 20 metres. And I really wonder why we're moving it, how much is it costing, and are you people serious about the moving a bus stop 20 metres? Do we know? I mean, before you move the motion today to say, yes, we're going to do it, do we know what it's going to cost us? Do we know what the benefits long-term are? This is a question-answer session. No, never mind, we don't. This is extraordinary. So after the letter, I did go down there and I had a look and I thought, what is going on? And this is the Kiwi Family Trust outside St Asaph Street. And there is a girl sitting on the bus stop waiting. And it's not unreasonable for us to put bus shelters in. I couldn't agree more. But the design of this is putting the bus shelter at the back side of the bus stop. What, is there a reason for that? Again, I'm asking why we're doing it.
Yeah, okay, this is not a question and answer session, it's your deputation, so you finish it.
Okay.
And
Well-
your local councillors can pick those questions up and ask them when the report is tabled.
Right,
So go
okay.
ahead.
Well, you're moving a motion today to move the bus stop. I find it extraordinary. I don't mind where it goes, but actually the bus stop in the picture that we were presented here, I believe is tantamount to deceptive. If you have a look at it, it looks like the bus stop's just getting moved. It's not. So I ring the council up and I ask them, how many car parks are we losing? Oh, we're not, we're gaining them. And then I get a call 2 days later saying, oh, sorry, we are losing some car parks. The whole process, I believe, is wrong. It should not have happened as it has. And I would challenge the council today not to move this motion and to go back and actually get a shelter at the start of a bus stop. It's the whole thing to me is quite illogical. Extraordinary. I'm quite hoping to take questions.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions? Jake and then Andre.
Thank you for coming along. Is it just this specific stop you have an issue with?
Look, I do. I find
It's not the package of works as a whole.
Look, I think putting shelters and getting them for the community is a really good idea. It's the process of how this happened, and it's the process that I got after I'd got that letter.
Right.
And I'm not pinpointing the employers of the council at all, but I was told to start with that this was to realign the bus stop because want to get the distances from one bus stop to the next bus stop correct, right? And I was told to go to LTSA and have a look at the guidelines for bus stops. The guidelines for bus stops are quite clear. They should be about 400 metres, or if they're 800 metres, there's differences. These bus stops between this one and the next one's only 200 metres. So you would have to question whether you actually should have a bus stop.
We'll probe further on this one later on.
All these things laid me
Right.
to get cross enough to come here,
Right.
because I don't think it's been a very transparent process.
Now, this work is a bit quicker than we normally pump stuff out with some government money, but thank you. We'll look closer at this one.
Well, I think, if you're going to move it today and move it, it doesn't really matter. But actually, if looking at it very simply, this would be much more sensible to move it towards Fitzgerald Ave, and it sits in an area that currently looks like a vacant section. At the moment, you're moving the bus stop. It doesn't matter. There's all sorts of things that I think are extraordinary with the decision.
Okay, we've got one more question. Andre? No. Are there any other questions? Councillor Johansson?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for bringing these concerns to our attention. I mean, as I've read the report, I was just wondering if you have a sense of how many people actually use the bus stop, because it seems like a lot of investment and we don't seem to have any idea of how many. Yeah, right.
Yeah, where's the cost benefit?
So,
I don't think anyone's using the bus stop. No, that's not fair. I cannot put quantitative figures on who uses the bus stop.
So in regards to your submission, would it be your preference that we look at, because we've had other submitters in areas where there is a high use of bus stops, who people have asked for improved bus stops there, would it be your submission that we should focus on those, responding to those ones where there's a proven need, versus addressing this one?
Yeah, and you're leading the submitter because he came in to talk about this bus stop and you're bringing another one, so.
Okay.
Well,
Well, do you think it's a good use of our money to do this one?
I
Or do you
think
there's
it's-
other priorities.
All I think is actually when we've got a loft that needs money and we've got
It's been
a
clearly
sewerage
stated.
pond that needs to get sorted out, we should be stopping all of this,
So we'll be putting your questions through to the staff when we present the report.
Yeah,
which
thank
shouldn't
you.
be
But
too
you
far.
have to move the motion on that today, don't you?
Yes, but after
Not
we've asked the
necessarily.
questions, we've got time to ask your
Right.
questions.
Okay.
So thanks very much.
We don't. We've got more time.
Because I just think it's illogical.
No, that's
Thank you for
very
your
clear.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so Nearby Singh, please, also on item 13. Is he here? Nearby? No. All right, so we'll go to Stephen McPake, who's on video presentations. Oh, you're here, Stephen, but you've got a video presentation. And you're speaking to item 12.
Yes.
So welcome.
Good morning. Today you'll meet two sides of me, the level thinking Stephen and the annoyed Stephen. But first off, I want to congratulate the wastewater treatment plant team for keeping the plant operational through this horrible time. It has been a horrible 2 years for the people in the east. So first off, I'll let my video do the talking. Hello, my name is Stephen McPake. I'm a community advocate and the co-founder of Sewer Crisis. I come to you today to talk about this and your response after it. This organisation has let the community down in more ways than one. The communications were poor.
Yeah, I just feel like the board's not really being kept informed on this issue. Like, it was pretty embarrassing tonight to have members of the community know more about what's happening by council than we do. Like responses, like, you know, that people were making deputations to us, people I'm sure are contacting us on social media, and yet we basically have very little information.
Yeah, I learn more from the community groups than I do from council.
Me too.
The support package was poor. Hey, I'm just at Pack and Save Molehouse. I'm off to count cards. So I am down at Eastgate. I'm going to check Countdown, as well as the warehouse and warehouse stationery, and let's find out how many they've got on their shelf. Well, I'm in Countdown Ferry Mood, and look what I've got. Many Prezi cards on the shelf. But we've learnt these lessons. This organisation's relationship with the East is described as poor at best. There are infrastructure and roading that needs to be repaired from the earthquake. Residents constantly feel like they have been not listened to and let down. What I'm asking this organisation to do is that you set up workshops for the community residents to tell you how you can build trust back in them. They want answers. They want to know who you are. They want to know what you do. They need these answers, as well as what's happening with this. For me, what I want from you is guarantees that you will not let down a single community again like you have with the eastern suburbs. So I'm going to leave it here and let you ask me any questions you want. Thank you. Before you do, I'd like a post that Vicky Walker put up on the Sewer Crisis page, put up on the screen. She's got nothing but resentment for this building and the people who work here and our elected members. We need to change this. Frankly, I don't want to darken this council chamber coming here to have a growl. But I'm happy to take any questions now.
Oh, thank you very much, Stephen. Your time is up exactly perfectly right on now, so that we don't have time for questions for you today, but your deputation was very clear, and I think the message cannot be disputed, so thank you very much, and thank Vicky for providing that few words as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so still no new buying? Okay. Right, so we have no